of order here.
No worries. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Brad McConnell. I'm the CEO of Allies for Community Business. We are the co-owner of this building, the hatchery, and the co-operator of this, along with our joint venture partner, ICNC. And this is a place on the west side where we like to do the best that we can to convene people to get to know each other and to figure out how together we can help more entrepreneurs to grow the businesses that they're seeking to grow. Now, as you can imagine, based on the backdrop, this is mostly in this facility focused on food and beverage businesses. But from here, we also serve businesses of all types and all industries, and I'll explain that in just a second. So I'm the CEO of Allies for Community Business, and we're one of the lead partners within the business support organizations that are helping to make sure that we execute the Cook County Small Business Source program, which is why we're here today. Allies for Community Business is a mission-focused nonprofit community development financial institution. And our mission is to provide the capital and the coaching and the connections that entrepreneurs need to grow great businesses that create jobs and wealth in our communities. So given those three things that we focus on, the capital and the coaching and the connections, we find participating in this partnership to be a perfect way for us to fulfill our mission because of all the things that the Small Business Source team is trying to do together, and all the people are working hard on that. So in a moment, we're going to move through the rest of the program, but I do want to highlight briefly before I do that anybody who's interested in learning more about the hatchery at about 10:30 or so, whenever the program completes, I'll be over there by those glass doors, and we're going to do a little tour around the building, and we'll talk about a bit of the history here, how it came about, what we're seeking to achieve, who we're serving, and most importantly, how many jobs we're seeking to create for entrepreneurs on the west side and broadly throughout Cook County. So we'll do that kind of at the end for anybody who's interested. But most importantly here, let's talk about all the different things that we are seeking to achieve within the Small Business Source. And to do that, we're going to start with the person who's most responsible for all of this, and that, of course, is President Preckwinkle.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Brad, for that kind introduction and for your hospitality today. We thank you for hosting us. And thank all of you for coming out. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the folks who are here today. Finance Chair Daley, Vice Chair Lowry, Commissioners Anaya, Kevin Morrison, Bridget Degnan, Frank Aguilar, Tara Stamps, and T'Challa Ross, who's representing Dennis Deere, who could not be with us today. We also have our Director of the Department of Veteran Affairs, Dee Love, and of course our Bureau Chief for Economic Development, Xochitl Flores. Thank you all for joining us. I should also introduce Amelia Domenko. I apologize, Amelia. I'm about to say really nice things about you, so please don't take offense. For the past 3 years, we've heard from small businesses that access to capital is the biggest challenge facing them, the biggest challenge. And with the availability of American Rescue Plan Act resources, we knew that we had a rare opportunity to provide small businesses with exactly that, capital. In that spirit, we're here today to recognize and celebrate the 2023 Source Grants, which represent a historic $50 million investment in both city neighborhoods and suburban communities through our Cook County Small Business Source. I'm proud to say that we used a transparent and equitable process to identify grant recipients, of whom there were 16,000 applicants, but only 3,000 folks who we could unfortunately provide in the program. Unfortunately, we couldn't provide more resources for more. After determining eligible applicants, our grant administrators, the Women's Business Development Center and Allies for Community Business, utilized a lottery process to select the 3,000 recipients from the pool of eligible applications. And again, we regret that we couldn't fund more of the businesses given that we had those 16,000 applicants. Businesses needed a location in Cook County to have less than 20 employees and have been in operation prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. This $50 million represents one of the largest single commitments Cook County has made with its resources to date. We know that small businesses are the backbone of our economy, central to the financial security of millions of our residents, an important source of job creation. We know we can't do this work alone, which is why we have such a great turnout today. Our strong network of partners is here in full force. These organizations and their dedicated staff members provide one-on-one advising to small businesses. They help small businesses navigate their opportunities and options, and they've become trusted advisors to thousands of firms. In fact, in 2023 alone, they assisted 9,848 businesses. That's nearly 10,000 small enterprises in Cook County. Our network of 50 organizations represents the diversity of the communities that we serve. Just look around the room. Each organization brings a different expertise or focus on a particular industry. Others have a geographic focus. Others a racial or ethnic background focus. And together, they have Cook County covered. At the center of this effort is Amelia Domenko. I'm sorry for not acknowledging her at the very beginning, Amelia. She is executive director of the Women's Business Development Center and an old friend. We couldn't do this without her work and her incredible team, so thank you. I'd be remiss if I didn't also mention Next Street, a mission-driven consultancy that helped Cook County develop its small business programs and helps coordinate all of our partners. We would not be here without them. Thank you so much to Next Street. We've also been fortunate enough to receive tremendous support from the philanthropic community, including the Fund for Equitable Growth and We Rise Together. My heartfelt thanks to these organizations and to all of our partners. Government cannot do good work alone. Let's give one more round of applause to all the organizations that made today possible. Finally, I'd certainly be remiss if I didn't express my gratitude to our own staff. We have a strong Cook County team anchored in the Bureau of Economic Development with teammates in Veteran Affairs, Contract Compliance, and Procurement. Prior to 2020, Cook County did not have a small business agenda or a program. Under the leadership of Xochitl Flores, Bureau Chief for the Bureau of Economic Development, and Irene Scher, Deputy Bureau Chief, we now have a program nationally recognized and award-winning at that. For more information about the Cook County Small Business Source Program, please visit www.cookcountysmallbiz.org, www.cookcountysmallbiz.org, or speak to any one of our source representatives who are here today. Once again, thank you and congratulations to all of the recipients who have joined us. Okay? All right. Tara's going to speak first, is that right? All right. Commissioner Saps has another commitment. Please come to the podium. I would ask that you introduce the commissioner that follows you. Thank you.
Yes, Madam President. Welcome to the 1st District. I am Cook County Commissioner Tara Stamps, and I'm just honored, A, to be in the hatchery, and then to be before you and see so many recipients of this unprecedented award that is just really the benefit of this country seeing to support its citizens, right? And we all know that small businesses are the backbones of this country and certainly the life's blood of our communities. And so congratulations to each and every one of you for this amazing opportunity. And I pray that you receive the support and the counseling and the coaching that you need to not only be successful today, but to be successful unto the future so that you can pass your business on to the next generation. And now coming before you is Chairman of Finance, Commissioner John Daley.
Thank you very much, and good morning. Let me congratulate all of you on this award and the hatchery for the great work that you've done. This is a great day, but let me really thank the President for her leadership, not only in this field of the small business, but when the ARPA money came down, she made sure that she brought a team together to make sure Cook County, the entire Cook County, was well distributed, and whether it be healthcare, economics, people who were not at the table before, she brought them to the table through the ARPA dollars. And let's thank President Joe Biden. So congratulations. I want to thank Amelia, to Director, and especially for your teams for the excellent work that you've done. It's my honor to introduce to you the Vice Chair of the Finance Committee and an individual who's been working in equity on the marijuana dispensaries to make sure there's more equity, because when the bill was passed, there was not much in there. Commissioner Bill Lowry.
Thank you, Chairman. I am Bill Lowry, Cook County Commissioner of the 3rd District, and I'm just so pleased to join all of you here this morning as we celebrate the 2023 Cook County Small Business Source Grant Initiative. In the words of Giselle Barreto Fetterman, the best time to support small businesses is always today. And today, that is exactly what Cook County is doing, as the county's Small Business Source Initiative is providing $50 million in resources to 3,000 small businesses across Cook County. The Small Business Source has been instrumental in providing much-needed relief to small businesses during the pandemic and since, in various industries, including retail and hospitality and healthcare. These businesses are the backbone of our county, of our state, and of our country, as these businesses provide jobs and goods and the services which are essential to each of us each and every day. This impactful initiative is also fostering economic equity, as 77% of the grantees represent minority business enterprises, as 62% of the grantees represent women business enterprises, and 94% of the grantees represent micro businesses having less than 10 employees. To the initiative's 3rd District support organizations, Chicago Urban League, Greater Southwest Development Corporation, the Illinois Restaurant Association, Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation, and the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, I say thank you for the provision of business advising and community outreach to all of the grantees. And to President Preckwinkle, the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development, my colleagues on the Cook County Board, and all of the Cook County Small Business Source partners, I say thank you, because the best time to support small businesses is always today. Next up, Commissioner Alma Anaya.
Thank you. Good morning, good morning. I am so excited to be here with you all today. My name is Alma Anaya. I'm the Cook County Commissioner of the 7th District. I represent the southwest side of Chicago, majority immigrant district, majority Latino. And it is quite an honor to be here today as the Vice Chair of the Business and Economic Development Committee. Not only for what we're celebrating today, but the fact that we are recognizing that Cook County is stepping forward and helping in such a significant way, in such a transformative way, to ensure that small business continue to see Cook County as their home, as their hub. And that's a beautiful thing. I think for a very long time, we haven't been able to assist in that way. And the fact that we were able to utilize funding and uplift businesses and reassure businesses both in the city of Chicago and in suburban Cook County, where a lot of our communities of color are moving to, is so transformative. It is so unique. And I just want to, again, thank Madam President, Tony Preckwinkle, of course, Director, Bureau Chief, I should say, Xochitl Flores, and Irene Scher, because Irene had done a lot of the work as well with her team to be able to take this step forward to allow businesses to get the information, to be wraparound as well, to provide technical assistance, and then to be able to provide funding for the small businesses. A lot of the times we don't understand how transformative $10,000 or $20,000 means to a small businesses. And we need to recognize this, especially during the pandemic, especially when a lot of our communities of color suffered a lot. Not only did they see the devastation of seeing their family members get ill, but they saw their businesses and their neighborhoods not get the resources that were necessary. And I know this firsthand, not only because I represent the southwest side of the city of Chicago, but also because my mom decided to start her business right before the 2008 recession. She went through the hardship of being a single mother, starting her business as a general contractor in the field, and then be, pushed back with the devastation of a recession and what that means. So it's extremely important that we continue to unify together, not only today but throughout, to ensure that there is an infrastructure and there is a support system for small businesses for the long run. So I'm extremely excited to be a part of that. Really quickly in Spanish. Hola, buenos días, me llamo Alma Anaya, soy comisionada del 7º Distrito. Estoy muy orgullosa hoy día de estar aquí como la vicepresidenta del desarrollo económico y negocios aquí del condado de Cook. Esto es una iniciativa sumamente importante, una iniciativa que va a transformar muchas de los negocios pequeños aquí en la ciudad de Chicago, pero también en el condado de Cook, donde es más necesario. Es importante que el condado en este tiempo continúe esta iniciativa y estoy muy orgullosa de ser parte de esto, porque mucha gente no sabe el significado de $10,000 o $20,000 para un negocio pequeño que lo necesita, específicamente con lo que ha pasado con la devastación de la pandemia. So, les agradezco mucho al equipo de la presidenta y también al equipo del Buró de Desarrollo Económico por todas sus iniciativas. So, muchísimas gracias. And now I'd like to introduce a very close partner in this work. Both Commissioner Kevin Morrison and myself sat on the small business working group that really started a lot of this work, and we had a lot of these conversations really early on in the pandemic, so I'd like to introduce a great partner in the work.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Anaya, and good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Morrison. I represent the 15th District on the county board, covering the bulk of the northwest suburbs. It is an honor to be with all of you today. I want to thank President Preckwinkle for all of her work and having such an easy administration to advocate for small business with, especially our Bureau of Economic Development, Xochitl Flores, Irene Scher, their entire team have been crucial, and it's amazing to be here at this milestone, recognizing 3,000 businesses that were able to receive this grant. I like what Chairman Daley had to say. We do owe all of our thanks to President Biden, his administration, and our congressional leaders for getting Cook County $1 billion of resources that have been able to bring online all these new resources for our small businesses. You know, prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, my friends at the Bureau of Economic Development were well aware that I was dreaming up a model for small business support, a support center or a one-stop shop. Ultimately, with those federal resources, we were able to create the Cook County Source, our website that has been able to assist so many of our businesses. That idea actually came to fruition after a trip to Los Angeles County with Commissioner Anaya and myself and our team. And we got to see all the different types of supports that they do for their small businesses and their entrepreneurs, which really got the ball rolling here in Cook County. You know, they started to work on a study on how we could better serve our small businesses. And when the pandemic started, those studies were essential in setting up aid, crucial aid that would keep them afloat and keep their doors open. You know, this has been a personal passion of mine because, you know, my grandfather was an immigrant from here in the 50s from Italy. He started with nothing. He sold vegetables out of a van and used the money he was able to save up from that to open up a snack shop. He was able to use the money from that snack shop to open up a pickup and delivery pizza restaurant, and then finally was able to set roots up in Norwood Park and set up a restaurant that now in our main dining room sits 120. We have 2 bars. We're a staple of the community, and it's run by 2 women, my mom and my aunt. Dino's Pizza. Dino's Italian restaurant in Norwood Park. No, honestly, it was through that experience, seeing how, you know, my grandfather was able to come from so little and build something so crucial that gives back to all the local schools, that helps all the local sports teams. You know, there was a young girl recently who unfortunately lost to cancer. We did so many fundraisers at our restaurant to give back to that family and support them during their time of need. And it was that experience that really led me to want to be a public servant to begin with. But honestly, the fact that we are here today celebrating $50 million awarded to 3,000 small businesses that is going to help them continue to grow, hire more Cook County residents, and see our middle class start to grow and bring people up that economic ladder is such an important feat, and I couldn't be more proud. These grants especially affect historically excluded communities, including people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, women, and people with disabilities. I know this marks a crucial step, but we're not done fighting to see our economy not only prosper, but make it us the most small business friendly county in the entire nation. So with that, thank you, President Preckwinkle. Thank you to your administration and your incredible team at Business and Economic Development. And with that, I would like to introduce my colleague, Commissioner Bridget Degnan. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. How do you really follow that up? So I'm Commissioner Bridget Degnan. I represent much of Chicago's north and northwest side, and I want to thank the Hatchery for having us all here today. And as I look out into this crowd, I just want you to raise your hand if you are one of the organizations that helped a small business get a grant today. I want you to raise your hand. If you are a small business and you received a grant, I want you to raise your hand. It is because of you that we are here today. It is because of you that we're able to support you. So thank you so much, each of one of you ladies and men, for participating in this process. And I have to say, too, that 30 years ago, we would have stood in this room and we would have seen a very, very different crowd. The fact that more than 60% of the recipients that receive these small business grants are women shows that women have the grit and the determination and the intelligence in order to support our communities. Because when we invest in small businesses, we are investing in job creation and families. A recent study from the Small Business Administration found that small businesses account for 64% of new jobs created annually. That's 2 out of every 3 jobs over the past 25 years. When we invest in small businesses, we're not just empowering the business owners and entrepreneurs to achieve their dreams. We are also employing and empowering employees to carry out and carve out their space in the workplace. We're encouraging skill development and economic stability in our communities. We're building up businesses in our neighborhoods to create thriving areas to live and to work. When we invest in small businesses, we're investing in the local economy. A different study that was commissioned by American Express shows that for every $1 spent at a local business in the United States, 67% of that money stays in our local economies. That's compared to 45 cents when spending at a big box store. It's even been shown that small businesses, as Kevin Morrison mentioned, donate 250% more than larger businesses to nonprofits and local community causes. Small businesses care about the communities that they're in and the families they serve. Starting a small business takes courage, it takes grit. We all know that COVID created unprecedented hardships for small business owners. The business owners here today demonstrated resilience and adaptability in a time when many other businesses were closing in our communities daily. And now you are all here today using that same courage and grit to help us all rebuild and recover. So thank you, and thank you to the Board of Commissioners, to Madam President Toni Preckwinkle, and Xochitl Flores and her team for making this all possible. I'd like to next introduce our Cook County Commissioner, Frank Aguilar.
Thank you, Commissioner. After this, we're all invited to go to Dino's, right, Kevin? Yes. All right. Real good. Frank Aguilar, Commissioner of 16th District, which is the western suburb. You know, back in the day, I ran a small Chamber of Commerce, in fact, in my Commissioner Anaya's district, Little Village, and I know firsthand how important it is to have programs like this, a sense of a relief, really, especially after COVID. They can keep the doors open and keep jobs in our communities. This grant will deliver and support businesses that are pillars in our neighborhoods. When businesses succeed, the entire community succeeds. We must exhaust every option to get residents who own businesses, who want the businesses to open and succeed. And many of our, in my district, and I'm pretty sure in other districts throughout the Chicagoland area, many businesses are owned by immigrants. It shows you that people come to this country to work, to develop micro businesses and generate jobs. So we must support any immigrant that comes to this country and works hard. They deserve our help. I'm very proud to be part of this government party and working closely with our President, Tony Preckwinkle, Xochitl Flores, and Community Economic Development, and also Irene, thank you very much for your assistance. I also want to have a shout out to the groups that helped us out. I'll put this program out to inform our businesses: the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Berwyn Development Corporation, and the Melrose Park Chamber of Commerce. We went door to door helping our businesses, fill out these applications. We were walking blocks and blocks. It's a good way to lose some weight, so, all right? So, again, thanks everybody for support our business. Bueno, un poquito en español. Yo tuve la oportunidad de manejar la Cámara de Comercio en la Villita. Yo sé lo importante es este programa para asistir negocios, un sentido de esperanza, especialmente cuando cuando pasó el COVID. Muchos comerciantes pensaban que iban a cerrar permanente, pero este apoyo mantuvo la economía en las comunidades. Le ayuda muchísimo a nuestros negocios pequeños, y muchos de los negocios de nuestras comunidades los dueños son emigrantes. Eso significa que los emigrantes que llegan a este país llegan a trabajar, llegan a generar trabajos en nuestra comunidad y desarrollar una economía en nuestras comunidades. Le quiero dar las gracias a la representante Tony Preckwinkle, a Xochitl Flores del Economic Bureau of Development y a Irene por su apoyo en este programa, y también le quiero dar las gracias a la Cámara de Comercio del Estado de Illinois Hispana, el Desarrollo Económico de Berwyn y la Cámara de Comercio de Melrose Park, porque fuimos puerta por puerta invitando a la gente a participar en este programa. Okay, it was like trick-or-treating, going door to door with these chambers. So thank you again, and I can introduce, who am I going to introduce next year? I guess Amelia Demeco. She's with the Women's Bureau. The Women's Business Development Center. So, thank you.
Good morning. I'm here to represent the Women's Business Development Center, and we were the grant administrator and the fiscal agent for the 2023 Source Grant. I want to thank President Preckwinkle, the commissioners, and over 50 partners for their help that made the small business Source, particularly the 2023 Source Grant, a success. A shout out to Brad McConnell, representing Allies for Community Business, not because he's hosting us today, which certainly deserves a thank you, but for the great partnership we had with his organization. Their expertise was invaluable in getting this grant done. $50 million. President Preckwinkle, you don't have to apologize for only $50 million. That is a lot of money. Given to small business owners, it was transformational for some and frankly life-saving for others. And I want to remind all of us that it has a positive ripple effect on the entire county economy. As we all know in this room, these small businesses are, and you've heard this, the backbone of our communities and our economy, locally, nationally. We know that they're still suffering as a result of the pandemic. Revenues were lost, and the little equity they had vanished. Most of the small businesses, as you've already heard, 90% of them had 20 or less employees, with few to no other capital options to support their businesses. The $10,000 to $20,000 cash grant available through the 2023 Source Grant, to say the least, was significant. It was for those who received the grant the difference between I give up or I can keep going. It meant that they could make payroll and support families, purchase inventory to increase revenues, pay rent versus eviction, keep their doors open, and make necessary improvements to remain competitive. As I've said earlier, over 50 nonprofits who focus on small business throughout the county were critical to this effort under the leadership of the county's Bureau of Economic Development with the support of the president and the commissioners. These organizations provided direct outreach to small business owners in their communities, providing information and trusted counsel and advice. They provided grant application assistance and much more. Today, we're here to celebrate the significant investment and infusion of capital made by the county, but it doesn't and shouldn't end here. Cook County Small Business Source continues to provide business advising at no cost to the business owners. When the source, through the collaboration of these 50 nonprofit organizations, they connected, they worked together. The business owner is connecting with a wealth of resources because of these 50 organizations, from business planning to digital marketing, capital and funding options, and assistance to pursue those options. And they're receiving guidance, connections, and networking options otherwise are not available or affordable for these business owners. We are thankful for the county's leadership. We're thankful for all of the partners. Over the last 4 years, we have leveraged each other. We've leveraged each other's strengths, learned from each other, and efficiently and productively served small business owners. It is your dedication to your communities, your craft, and your staff that strengthens our county economy and all those who live, work, and do business here. The WBDC is very grateful to have been part of this historical effort, and historical it was and is. Thank you. I would like to introduce to you Deanna Love, who's the Director of Veterans Affairs for the county.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Major Retired Dee Love, the Director of Veteran Affairs for Cook County, Illinois. I would first like to thank Madam President and our Board of Commissioners for their support of the Department of Veteran Affairs on this initiative. I would also like to thank Bureau Chiefs Flores, Bureau Chiefs Ali, and Bureau Chief Anthony for their guidance and their support on this initiative as well. Cook County is home to over 150,000 veterans. In 2021, it was noted that Cook County was also home to only 1,100 veteran-owned businesses. Underneath the Source Grant, we are honored to report that we received over 1,400 applications from veteran-owned businesses here in Cook County. This number represents the continued growth and efforts of our veterans that have come home and called Cook County home, but continue to service their community. We're pleased to announce today that through the Source Grant, that Cook County will be awarding over 40 veteran-owned businesses over $800,000 in grant support. As we continue on with this initiative, the Cook County Department of Veteran Affairs will continue to work with our Bureau of Finance, and additionally our Office of Contract Compliance, to identify and support and strengthen our veteran-owned businesses and our veteran community of Cook County, Illinois. Thank you. And I will be followed by Bureau Chief Sochi Flores.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And as you can see, we have had many, many passionate individuals that really came together over the last couple of years to make this happen. So I wanted to thank all the business owners, congratulate you for this great funding that will hopefully revitalize your business. But from the bottom of my heart, I really want to thank all of our business support organizations and our referral partners, because a few years back when we had many very committed commissioners coming to us asking, what are we going to do? How are we going to support businesses during this pandemic? It was great to receive this infusion of money. Government is not built to rush into and build these types of programs overnight, because we needed to be intentional. We needed to make sure that we had the infrastructure in place to manage this funding the right way. Fortunately, we had many great advisors, partners, friends that we called upon, and they answered the door and said, we will build this together. And as Amelia noted, It was a learning process. We came together, we drew from our strengths, we incentivized collaboration. We said, we cannot do this alone. And over the last couple of years, as we bring and convene our business support organizations and our referral partners, we talk about what's working, what's not working, how do we envision this business support organization for our businesses going forward? What do we need to do? So I constantly remind them that this is our source. This is ours to build. And that's been the secret, that it's not one entity, it's private businesses coming together with government, coming together with nonprofit organizations and philanthropy to reimagine what good government looks like, to reimagine how we can all come together to support businesses, and to really chart a new path for our county. So I want to thank the president for her vision, for allowing us to dream big, to challenge us, and for the commissioners for their real partnership over the last couple of years. As Commissioner Aguilar said, whenever we had a new program, he was out there knocking on doors like many other commissioners, convening businesses, talking about what county government can do for our businesses and our residents. So I appreciate that genuine partnership over the last couple of years, and we would not be able to do it without all of our partners coming together to get this done. So thank you. We are reimagining, we're restructuring, so please continue to connect with your business support organizations. Give them ideas, because this is all of ours to continue to build and evolve. And as we are continuing to evolve, this upcoming, or this end of February, Wednesday, February 28th, we're going to start our new webinar series, Wednesday webinars, to continue to provide resources that we know our businesses need. I encourage you, go to our website, sign up. We worked very hard to really create trusted advisors for you guys. It's not something that we just say. We're working together to really build that partnership, so lean on them, go to them. Especially now that you have some extra funding to invest, you can share your thoughts on how you should invest it, and I know that they'll be partners with you to continuing to support and grow your businesses. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and take advantage of the tour. Thank you.
All right, Nick, do we have any questions? All right, we're